A damp end to the T20 Blast match between Somerset and Middlesex in Taunton saw the home team prevail on DLS in spite of Blake Cullen emphasising his talents with a hat-trick for the visitors. Put into bat, the home team once more looked to Devon Conway, a man in such a rich vein of form at the moment that he can clear the rope with a slice. A mistimed shot by George Bartlett had a much different outcome, he clothing the ball from Stephen Finn straight to Daryl Mitchell, the batsman out for 9. That brought in Will Smeed, who soon made the most of a short delivery from Majid-ur-Rahman as Somerset took 53 runs off the power play. Smeed was in a very confident mood. Having someone as reliable as Conway at the other end meant that he could play his shots, and this shot was middled for another maximum. Conway, meanwhile, simply carried on his business in his usual way. He came into this match with 3 successive 50s, and he has pretty much batted through the innings in doing so. So this latest effort came as no surprise as he eased his way into another notable knock. Many a bowler this summer has started to wonder how to get him out. The answer? Ask his batting partner to leave him stranded, to have him run out. Stevie Eskenazi supplied the throw, which had Conway on his way for 45. Smeed must have felt pretty bad about that, but he put it behind him quickly by chipping Cullen over the rope for his 3rd 6. But when he tried a similar shot next ball, he plugged to Max Holden. It may have been a slow and nervous walk back to rejoin Conway in the hutch, as Smeed left with 33 runs to his name. With 2 new batsmen now in, Somerset reached a score of 97 for 3 at the halfway stage, and those 2 sudden losses affected them. Finn and Nathan Souter kept things tight, the latter rewarded by having Tom Lannaby held behind. Lewis Goldsworthy soon followed, Finn the man underneath the skyer off Cullen, a wicket which left the home team in some difficulty. With 5 overs to go, they'd slipped from 85 for 1 to 120 for 7, Majid having Eddie Byram easily stumped. And then next ball winning a leg before decision to send Craig Overton packing. It had become a spell of cricket filled with drama, Middlesex seemingly now bossing the contest. It took Marchant de Lange to stop the rot. Majid's figures were ruined in his last over, the first 2 balls of which were muscled over the rope. There was not much finesse about de Lange's batting, but the results were just what his side needed. And he went big again to complete the over, one which cost 25 runs and put the collapse firmly at the back of the minds of the home supporters. But back came Middlesex in the form of Cullen. With the first ball of over 18, he had Ben Green holding out to Holden. And with his next delivery, he removed de Lange in the same way. Not everybody realised it, but the talented 19-year-old had bagged a hat-trick, having removed Goldsworthy with the last ball of his previous spell. Cullen ended with 4 for 32. And because of him, Somerset failed to complete their overs. Finn uprooted Jack Brooks's leg stump. After 18.1 overs, they were all out for 152. The wickets continued to tumble when Middlesex began their reply. Eskenazi's rampant run of form was swiftly ended by Overton, the ball banging into the batsman's hand and onto the middle stump. Eskenazi was out for 4 and his opening partner Holden departed for 8. A top edge off Brooks, very well held by the running Conway. The visitors now on 15 for 2 after 2. Joe Cracknell wasted no time as he wanted to make the most of the power play in spite of those losses. This pull off Overton went a long way. But the bowler soon exacted his revenge, Cracknell this time hitting the ball well enough, but too close to Goldsworthy in the deep. With Cracknell gone for 13, Middlesex reached a score of 46 for 3 in the power play, and then they lost Daryl Mitchell, who on 10 gifted a catch to Brooks off de Lange. Worse followed for the visitors as John Simpson was left kicking himself when he picked out Smeed off Lannaby. Middlesex were at 6s and 7s, or 5s, as they found themselves on 55 for 5 in the 9th over. Both batsmen would have been aware of the DLS requirement with rain moving in, and Holman aided his team some by swatting this shot over the rope. He next tried to go big one-handed, but could only reach Smee to fall for 15. Overton the wicket-taker again to end with figures of 3 for 28. The target was down to 50 from 5 overs, and then Souter hit Max Waller out of the park to the last ball of the 16th over before the players were forced from the field because of the weather. With 4 overs left, Middlesex were on 114 for 6, the DLS target being 119. And that, I'm afraid, was that. Somerset taking the game and 2 more very important points, which keeps them very well placed for a top 4 finish. Middlesex, for all their efforts, and particularly from Cullen, now have only pride to play for.